have it, bitch. They sold it to buy drugs. Well, this isn't very good. My life is like flashing in front of my eyes.
What's going on? You're watching Hymns in My Wake. I'm Jacob, and today we are going to do a couple of contest entries. Got two of them that I'm just gonna group together in the same video. So, in the background, we're listening to Hedge Wizard, More True Than Time Thought. This is actually my first time listening to this one. I just picked it up not too long ago from my local shop. Saw this. I'd heard it talked about quite a bit, and from what I remember, people said it was a pretty good release, and on the 5th song right now, and so far it's been pretty good. This is copy 6 out of 100. Not that you guys care about that, but yeah, that's what we're listening to in the background. But let's get going. So first up, gonna do an entry for Todd Guy, the Thrashing Zombie, his 200 subs contest. I just recently found this channel through Brian Arkham. He also entered this contest, and I went and checked out the channel. Liked what I saw. I'm not gonna enter these contests if I don't enjoy the channel. So I watched a few videos and really enjoyed what Todd was doing. So, anyways, let's get to his. He has 4 questions here. So let's get to them. I'll be looking at the phone to read the questions. So that's why I'm looking off to the side. Okay. Number 1, share a zombie song, or a song about zombie, or a song that has the word zombie in the title. And then also share your favorite zombie movie, or if you don't like those kinds of movies, your favorite movie of all time. So, I'm not a big horror, gore type guy, so I had a hard time finding a song with a zombie song. First thing that came to mind was Ailstorm. They have a song on their recent album called Zombies Ate My Pirate Ship. I've kind of beat that album to death lately, so I tried to think what else I could come up with, and the one band that came to mind that I have in my collection I thought might have something in this category was the Black Dahlia Murder. And so pulled out the 3 albums I had of theirs and just quickly glanced at song titles. There wasn't a zombie song title, but there were some that sounded like they could, based on the title, be about zombies. So I dug out the lyric sheets, looked them over, and this is what I came up with. I came up with As Good as Dead off of Nightbringers. So it's basically a song about a guy or girl, it doesn't specify, basically being chained to a hospital bed as their loved one watches them transform into a zombie over time. That's the gist of it. So yeah, that's the song, As Good as Dead by the Black Dahlia Murder. Movie, I'm not a big movie guy in general, but especially horror. I can't think of a single horror movie that I enjoy. I know that makes me a bit of a oddball in this community, in the metal collecting community. But the one I did think of, and I was too stupid to remember to look up the name of it before I started this. Luckily it just came to me. I Am Legend, I believe is the name of it. The Will Smith movie where there's the zombie parasite or whatever going around. I thought that movie was entertaining one. But yeah, question 2. 2 songs by 2 different bands with the same title. Hold on, I'm doing this wrong. Okay. 2 songs by 2 bands, same title. So we'll start off with the legendary Motorhead. And this song's going to come off of Kiss of Death, which is, so far, I've been trying to slowly dig into the albums that I haven't listened to yet, but so far, Kiss of Death has been my favorite album by them. God Was Never On Your Side. It's probably my favorite Motorhead track. Fucking stellar track. But the one we're going to talk about is Trigger. Another really good track on this one. And the other band with a track named, or a song named Trigger. This is a pretty divisive album. Reroute to Remain, In Flames. And yeah, I bought this used, and unfortunately it looked like some jackwagon put this sticker on the sleeve. Just so you know, it's the 2014 reissue with the 180 gram vinyl. But yeah, track number 4 on here is Trigger, which is probably one of the top 3 or 4 songs on here. Between that one, Cloud Connected was really good. The title track was pretty solid, but I think Trigger was better. Drifter, like that one. Metaphor was really good. Overall, I really enjoy this album, actually. I enjoy everything from In Flames up till I think 4 albums back from what they've done now. The newest stuff is just absolute garbage, but I enjoy everything up until I think Sounds of a Playground Fading. It was probably the last one I liked. But yeah, that's Trigger by Motorhead and In Flames. Both one of the better songs on the albums. And then we're gonna go 2 albums from 1976, which was the 200th anniversary of the United States, which is where both me and Todd are from. So first up, we've got this beat to hell copy of Children of the World by Bee Gees. This thing probably isn't even playable, but I do like this album. It was something that I had a friend that had a relative pass away, and they had a collection of records, and he asked me to go and try and trade them in, and he said, pull out whatever you want. Take whatever records you want and keep them for yourselves. It was just kind of payment for doing it for them. So this was one of the ones. I didn't realize how beat to shit it was. It's even, the jacket's all split, but it is one that I will eventually get a listening copy of and toss this one in the trash. I didn't realize how bad it was when I pulled it out. But yeah, it's about the thing with this one is it's about 50-50. 50% of the songs are really good, and 50% of the songs are really bad, where they were trying to go too far into that funk territory, and it did not work. And the other album we have from 1976 is Rush's 2112. Absolute masterpiece. What else can you say? And then the last question was to show the 200th album in the collection. However you have it organized, pull out the 200th. So I just went over to my records and counted along, and it's not exact because I have probably 30 or 40 records in the new arrivals / whatever area that aren't there. So I just counted what was on the shelf, got to 200, and came up with this one. So I pull out. Most of the time, I didn't do it with Rush, but most of the time I pull out. So this is Mourn to the Night Unknown. Yeah, this was I believe this came out in 2018, and it was one of my favorites of the year. Probably would have been like my top 10 if I made one. Kind of blackened, sludgy doom. Yeah, really good stuff. Okay, that was it for that half of the competition, or the contest entries. And now let me pull up the other questions real quick. These ones are pretty easy. Probably didn't need to pull them up. But this is Low Noise Jason Skills, another channel that I'm a new subscriber to. I found this one through Merciful Metal. Did an entry for this contest, so figured I'd do one as well. So all Jason wants is to show 3 records, or 3 albums. The first one he wants to see is a metal record, or the heaviest you have. He did mention if you're a big heavy metal fan, maybe pick out your favorite of all time, or your favorite of the month, week. But I kind of went a different route. I just went over to my new arrivals and just pulled out something to just get it out of the way, so I don't have to, because I'm getting really far behind on my collection updates. So I figured cram a few of them in here. Yeah, so I pulled out Nasm with a Shift. I felt like this one fit the criteria pretty well for being pretty fucking heavy. I've mentioned before, I'm just barely coming around to grindcore. And Nasm is one of the handful of bands that I've really latched onto and have been enjoying what I've heard. This one's on a colored vinyl. Completely got that by chance. This was a used record from the local shop. But yeah, really top-notch grindcore. And then the next one he wants to see is a punk record. And I'm not a big punk guy. could have put out a few CDs, but I don't know enough about them. I got a bunch given to me by my little brother. He gave me his whole CD collection a long time ago, and I haven't gotten around to listening to very much of it. And I know quite a bit of it's punk type stuff, but back when I was just out of high school, I got really heavy into that that pop punk, post-hardcore style that was really popular there at the end of the 2000s, or from the 2000s into the 2010s. This was one I just recently picked up as well. Saw it at the local shop and remembered really liking this album. One of my favorites of the genre. I have it on CD, but I wanted to pick it up on vinyl as well. So this is Armor for Sleep, What to Do When You're Dead. When You Are Dead. This one is it's a concept album. It's basically about a guy that commits suicide, and it basically goes through and starts there and then kind of tells a story about what happens after he dies. Yeah. This version included the demos on the second LP as well. So I think this is actually kind of if I can pull it out. Yeah, this is a little book that they included in it that kind of tells the concept. So yeah, probably not a lot of people would be to watch this would be very interested in that, but it's what I have for punk. I had a couple other similar albums in that style, but that was the only one that I had that needed to be put away into the collection, so I figured I'd show it. And then the last thing Jason wanted to see was a synth record. Now I do have quite a bit of synth stuff. I mean, we're listening to Dungeon synth right now, but I went in a different direction and pulled out this little 2-album set by Abstract Void. It's Into the Blue and Back to Reality. This was put out on Depths of Void. Yeah, Abstract Void. You can kind of get a feel for what they are right there. They kind of go with that retro synth that they kind of have that heavy 80s influence in the synths, and then they mix it with black metal. Yeah. I think Back to Reality is the one out of these that I've listened to the most. I know it sounds like a bad combination, but I would encourage you to go check it out. I think it works really well, and it's not like the black metal that they mix in there. It's not like your typical like harsh second wave. They mix more of that post-black style. So yeah, that's Abstract Void. So yeah, that was a couple of contest entries, and thank you guys for tuning in and watching and all that good stuff, and we will plan on seeing you guys the next time.